Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. This is Armando Berdiel, Technical Development Supervisor for Lighting Design Lab, and I'm welcoming you to the Lighting Homes for Tomorrow 2020 Competition Winners Shoutout webinar. The Lighting Homes for Tomorrow competition was established by the Consortium for Energy Efficiency. They'll be speaking a little bit about the competition, and last year I had the pleasure of serving as a judge on this competition, where City Light sponsored it, and it was a great experience. And here what we want to do is give a shout out to some of the winners that really highlighted some great features on their connected home products. So we're going to get started, and we have a very exciting, fast-paced webinar. If you've been to one of our webinars before, you know that we have a couple of ground rules. Every attendee is going to start muted, but please engage with us. Use the chat feature on the bottom right-hand side of this panel. We are going to be stopping after every product, and if there's any questions or comments, we'll look to address them. There's going to be one online poll just to see who is in the audience with us. And after the webinar, there's going to be a 30-second survey. I just see how the experience was, how we did. Please answer that one for us. And just another note, a recording of this webinar will be posted on our webpage and our YouTube channel. And this slide deck will be available in the handouts, also on the right bottom hand side of the dashboard, as well as it will be on our website as well, the slide deck. And some of the slides have a couple of links to different resources for the different products. And ultimately, if you have any comments or additional questions, please email us at lightingdesignlab@seattle.gov. We always highlight that Lighting Design Lab is a part of and powered by Seattle City Light. We are all City Light employees, again, looking to advance and catalyze the adoption of these emerging connected home technologies. So very happy with our mission. We work a lot with trade allies that are comprised of, your retrofit market, implementers, contractors, SKOs, utilities. We work also a lot with design allies. We consider those lighting designers, specifiers, architects, building engineers, where both trade allies, design allies have this hunger for knowledge of emerging lighting technologies, lighting and home technologies, as well as best practices. And we also work with end-use customers, your building professionals, your facility professionals, building operators, another market that's often overlooked in where it comes to knowledge of these emerging technologies. And it takes a village. We work with many organizations, including the Consortium for Energy Efficiency, many different industry manufacturers, in order to bring these best practices and emerging technology awareness to our audiences. Lighting Design Lab are 4 core service areas. We focus on education and training. If someone's able to mute themselves, please go ahead and do so. Education and training, we do our online webinars. We used to do our hands-on trainings back in the before COVID times, where we had people commission lighting systems live, and it was a great experience for everybody involved. We do technology evaluation that can be pilots, demonstrating different emerging technologies in physical form. We also develop tools and resources such as the luminaire level lighting control videos that we have on our site, network lighting controls best practice guides, among others. And we also do a good amount of information aggregation, where we keep our ears close to the ground in the connected lighting and connected home worlds, and we share what we learn to our audiences. A little bit enough about us. We want to see who is here in the audience with us. I'm going to launch a poll, and if you can answer, let's talk about you. Which of these options best describes you, the audience here? All right, I see some people already started to answer. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm just going to leave for a few more seconds. Amount of manufacturers, I see it. All right, and 3, 2, 1. So again, good amount of representation from manufacturers, some specifiers, some trade allies, and also a good amount of people from utilities or program implementers. So great to know. Hiding out. So now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Kim Katz for the Consortium of Energy and Efficiency to tell us a little bit about that Lighting Homes for Tomorrow competition. Kim, please take it away.
Thanks, Armando. Thank you so much for hosting this webinar today. We are thrilled to be here to recognize the excellent suite of winning products from 2020. Next slide, please. So some background on the competition. It was designed to really support the CEE integrated home vision, which was developed by consensus by CEE members, which are primarily utilities and efficiency program administrators. And this vision is of a connected, greater distribution system, interactive, efficient home where all the systems within it are able to seamlessly communicate and work together to really provide those amenities for both consumers and CEE member utilities. So you're probably familiar with what a consumer is looking for in a connected product. This is what we all look for it to, address our preferences automatically within the home, make our lives a little bit more convenient, improve that consumer experience through customization and personalization, and adding value to the consumer's energy experience by helping them to manage their energy use and better understand what within their home is using energy, when, and why. And again, for CEE members, these pair really nicely with the consumer desires. They're looking for products that react to the dynamic value of energy, to respond to signals to help manage demand and supply needs, and contribute to the overall goal of safe, low cost, and reliable energy. Next slide, please. So the main purpose of the competition is to drive market transformation. The Lighting and Homes for Tomorrow competition seeks to identify and, like we're doing today, promote these excellent connected products that are able to deliver that positive consumer experience and serve evolving utility load management needs. And this leverages a design competition model that showed huge success in the lighting market, Lighting for Tomorrow, which ran for 15 years before sponsors decided to look towards connected products. Next slide, please. So the core objectives of the competition are to provide awareness of product capabilities that utilities are looking to include in their incentive programs, and really emphasize the benefits of energy efficient and connected products compared to standard product offerings. So what do these add for consumers and utilities? We also want to encourage market competition and innovation, engage with individual manufacturers directly to share our priorities and understand theirs, and reward leadership of desired product capabilities and functionalities. Next slide, please. So we do this through a whole host of evaluation criteria. You can see the long list here. I won't go through all of them, but I do want to emphasize energy and carbon savings and connected functionality as the cornerstones of these successful products. And thinking about successful market adoption and particularly consumer acceptance, the ones I'd emphasize there are interoperability. So how does this product work with others that people may already have in their home or may want to add to their home later on? Reliability, so is it there and working when a consumer wants it? And simplicity, is it easy enough for someone to set up and start using in their home? And do they understand why this adds value to their home? And you'll hear from all of the winners on how their products are meeting these criteria. Next slide, please. Right. And finally, I'd like to thank our 2020 competition sponsors, including Seattle City Light, for their wonderful work to launch this competition and make it a success in an unprecedented year. And with that, thank you for joining us today, and I'm excited to hear more about each of the 2020 Lighting and Homes for Tomorrow winning products.
All right, thank you very much, Kim. Right now, I'm going to be asking Lisa McLear from GE Lighting, a Savant company, to talk about their sensor dimmer.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Armando, and thanks to everyone who's been a part of this process in this wonderful competition, and for those listening in to hear more about our award-winning products. I'm a marketing manager for utilities for a Savant company, and I'm going to review today I've got like 3 things I want to go through. One is just a company overview, because we have had some pretty changes since last year, and I want to just give everyone an update.
Again, if anyone is on the phone, please go on mute. Very, very sorry, Lisa.
That's okay. And then also provide a high-level kind of overview of our current connected portfolio, including the switch that won the award, and then also talk about what's coming soon, because we have some changes with a new app, some new products, and actually a new branding name for our connected products. So can you go to the next slide, please? Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with G Lighting. It's a company that's been around for a very long time, over 100 years, and we are going through quite a renaissance now. In July of 2020, last year, we were purchased by Savant, which is a privately held smart home technology company out of Massachusetts. And they have about 15 years experience in the smart home residential market. And their customers and clients are very high-end custom luxury homes, very demanding customers with very complex systems. And we've been dabbling in the connected space and launching products for the last 3 to 4 years approximately. And what we really focus on is ease of use and products for the masses, and making sure that DIY customers can use these products. So really now with Savant, the overall goal is to provide the best smart home experience for the mass residential market. And one thing just I want to make sure I make super clear, and you'll see this in some examples as I go through these slides, is the GE brand is still going to be very prominent. The GE brand will be in our marketing, and it will be on our product packages. Can you go to the next slide? This is just a very high-level snapshot of the current category and products that we have for connected. So you can see an assortment of bulbs, plugs, light strips in different lengths, and switches, and the motion sensor. The wire-free motion sensor, sorry. And then the product that actually won the Lighting and Homes for Tomorrow award is the motion and dimming switch. If you want to go to the next page, I can provide more information on this. So this product is really unique. It has several features, which provide very good use cases for everyday living. It has both motion sensing and dimming capabilities, and then ambient light detection. So what this means is it can turn lights on and off based on motion in the room. This is very helpful, obviously, if you're walking in, and we've got some great videos on our website. You're walking in home and you've got a handful of packages or grocery bags, and you don't want to have to put them down to turn the light switch on. It also has ambient light detection too, so that the lights can start to go on as it gets darker in the room. And then in the middle of the night, because of the dimming capabilities, you can set it so that if you're getting up and walking down the hallway, the lights will go on, but they're not going to go on at 100%. It'll go on at 10% or whatever you have it matched to. And you can also schedule and do out-of-home control with this product, and it works with Amazon Alexa and Google Home Kit. Next page, next slide, please. So I want to talk about some new branding that we have coming out, as well as new products in the new app. We have a new name for the connected portfolio. We're going from C by GE to Sync. And the really important thing is that for Sync, this is not a name that we came up with and liked and decided to go with it. It was tested and retested with consumers, and it really resonated with them. It has better kind of more overall use in terms of the applications of all-encompassing for what the different products have that we use, and how they work and how they will improve people's lives. C by GE no longer being with GE, we had to kind of switch to a new name anyway, And people used to always ask, well, what does the C stand for? So this just clarifies it. It makes it simple. It's one word. It's sync. It resonates with consumers. And there's a package image you can see on the left, which is the C by GE version, and then on the right, the sync version. And we really wanted to make sure in this process, again, that the GE brand comes through. So the monogram itself was actually enhanced a little bit on the packaging, just so that if consumers were confused, they still knew that it was the same GE product that they have seen before. Next slide. And one of the first things that when we joined with Savant last year, probably the first collaboration started on the new app. So we have a new sync app that will be launching in about a month, so the end of May. And we worked with their software engineers, and again, software engineers who had a lot of experience working with customers that were very demanding customers with a whole lot of complex systems. And we really wanted to make sure that the app experience was right. We know how important this is. We have an app, the C by G app, out there now. This is going to be the next version of the app, and it's going to be a greatly improved version. One of the unique features of this is going to be true image, which is where you will take a picture of your room, of your space, and it'll actually, what's happening in the room and what you're doing on your app, what's happening in the room will be shown live on your app. So the two apps will match, and this is a patented technology by Savant. You can, once you get the slide deck, there's a lot more information on YouTube, and you can see more examples of how it works. And we're really excited about this. Can't wait. Next slide. Just ending here with some new products that we have that are coming out. 2 for outdoor use and then 2 for indoor use. These were announced at CES this year. So first is the Sync Outdoor Smart Plug, which gives you control for an outdoor outlet, individual outlet control, and to control your lights on your deck or outside on your porch. And then the outdoor full color Par 38, as people are using more outdoor lighting to light their homes. And this then, because of the millions of colors, you can do it through your app. You can change the colors, and you can change it for basically anything you want, any season you want. You no longer have to replace bulbs and switch it out for different lighting applications depending on the season or whatever you want to celebrate. Next slide. And 2 indoor products that were announced. One is the indoor smart camera. One unique feature about this camera is that it has a built-in privacy shutter. So similar to like what you would use on your computer, where you can slide to fully block any imagery for your camera, this works the same way. So if you really want to have privacy and you absolutely want to make sure that your camera is not capturing anything, you just, there's the plastic slide on the front where you can just do the shutter, pull it down, and it will remain off. And then the ceiling fan smart switch, which will make any ceiling fan smart, and it comes with 4-speed remote control. And again, fully to be managed by this new Sync app. And next slide, which I think is the last one. Yeah, so there is my contact information. And I would encourage all of you, if you have a few minutes and want to just see more information, there's great information on our website, and I've got the address right there. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Lisa. That was a very exciting. I see the GE by Savant is coming out really strong with some solid offerings. Very excited to see these on the market. Again, and after every section, I'll see if there's any questions or anyone wants to ask or comment on any other product seen or any other slides. Please do so on your chat, and we'll be looking to address those at the process. All right. Well, next up, we have Aiden Gerard with ecobee, and we'll be discussing their smart thermostat. Take it away, Aiden.
Looks like my camera is not set up properly there. Let me see if I can fix this quickly.
Sure.
That should resolve things. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Well, we'll give that a skip that for now. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aiden Gerard, and I'm an account manager on the ecobee energy team. I would like to first start by thanking the Consortium for Energy Efficiency, the Lighting Design Lab, and Armando for having us today for what is going to be a quick presentation on the ecobee smart thermostat with voice control and some of our related products and services that might be of benefit to the audience here today. So let's dive into it. Next slide, please. So the ecobee smart thermostat with voice control enhances how you experience comfort. It includes a state-of-the-art smart sensor with temperature and occupancy detection, Amazon Alexa built in, and an intuitive smartphone app. The exterior has a crisp glass finish with a vivid touch display, quad-core processor. It supports dual-band Wi-Fi and far-field voice detection, and it is compatible with the leading smart home control platforms. It also fits well alongside utility DRMS platforms. ecobee's Eco Plus software builds on this technology and provides integrated demand-side management solutions of thermostat optimization. It also ships with a smart sensor included, which can be placed anywhere throughout the home and is used to manage comfort based on specific room occupancy, as well as temperatures and user schedules. Next slide there. In regards to compatibility, our devices are compatible and seamlessly integrate with all the major smart home platforms such as Apple HomeKit, Samsung SmartThings, and Amazon Echo, allowing customers to integrate their ecobee with other smart devices in their home. Next slide, please. In late 2019, we launched a firmware upgrade, making our smart thermostats ever so slightly smarter, which has rolled out over the past year and is called Eco Plus. The goal with Eco Plus is to provide our customers with additional features to achieve even deeper levels of savings on their energy consumption and their utility bills. As it says here, Eco Plus is an optimization software that enhances our smart thermostats without any extra work for the customer. Next slide. So Eco Plus consists of 5 key features, which I'll quickly run through as they're pretty important to the actual smart thermostat with voice control. So first, there is the feels like feature, which automatically adjusts the temperature set point to account for the level of humidity within the home. As some of you likely know, due to levels of humidity, the temperature in the home isn't necessarily the temperature that it feels like in the home, and as such, we account for this and help to help manage customer comfort. Then there is Schedule Assistant, which provides recommendations to customers if it notices that they regularly deviate from their set occupancy schedule. Then there is Smart Home and Away, which is essentially occupancy detection and more quickly adjusts to the actual set point based on whether the home is occupied or not. Time of use allows customers to select their time of use rate if they have one with their utility and adjust their thermostat throughout the day to provide heating and cooling outside of peak periods. It will also preheat or pre-cool a home to help manage comfort during the actual peak period. And lastly, there is community energy savings, which is our customer-friendly approach to demand response, which allows utilities and utility partners to make slight adjustments to customer set points in order to reduce strain on the grid. Next slide. Relating to the release of Eco Plus, we also launched a new energy control platform for utilities and partners, which is used to schedule demand response events and manage demand response program enrollments. Next slide. And towards the end of 2019, we wrapped up one of the largest randomized studies of its kind to measure and evaluate the effectiveness and additional energy savings seen through Eco Plus, which included 250,000 participants across the United States and Canada. The study was mapped using the Building America climate zones, with Canada being the 6th climate zone. Next slide, please. As a result, the study showed that Eco Plus provided customers with an additional 6% in incremental energy savings on top of the approximately 23% already provided by upgrading to an ecobee smart thermostat. If you would like to read this study, it is available on our website at ecobee.com/ecoplusemv, as it says on the screen there. Next slide, please. Our smart thermostat with voice control also works in tandem with our Smart Buildings platform, which was released a few years back. The Smart Buildings platform is a platform and service provided by ecobee, which allows building owners and property managers to remotely adjust set points en masse. Allows them to troubleshoot HVAC issues and receive alerts to their phones for temperature warnings or things like that. Next slide. It also allows property managers and building owners to set ceilings and floors in regards to the temperature set points that one of their devices can be adjusted to. So this provides the actual occupant with some flexibility within the actual temperature of their unit, while also preventing them from adjusting their set point to 85 in the winter or 60 in the summer, for example. Next slide. And lastly, as many of you know, replacing HVAC filters helps maximize overall HVAC efficiency. It's also been top of mind for many folks since the beginning of the pandemic. And as such, ecobee now offers a filter subscription service. So customers can sign up and have their HVAC filter automatically shipped directly to their home, which is actually based on the duration between filter changes and the system runtime to ensure that their HVAC system is running at peak performance and filtering air as it should be. Next slide. And well, that's my last slide. So I'd like to thank everyone again for the award and for having us here today to speak on some of our products. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out via email, which is up there on the screen. Otherwise, I look forward to hearing everyone else's presentations.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Aiden. Very exciting connected thermostat technologies. Now we are going to move forward with another connected thermostat system from Sinope and Maxime Labonte.
Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. So we are going to stay in the same line of products for my presentation, obviously, but a little less efficient way of heating the home with the baseboards. So that's why that's where we come in. Small glimpse of the ecosystem of products that Sinope has to offer. So obviously we have a very strong background with thermostats and energy efficiency, and we're going to talk about it through the presentation. But we also do all types of devices for the smart home, always with a focus on energy efficiency and also water leak protection systems. So maybe we can go to the next slide. Who is Sinope for the people that don't know us? So we're a strong team of innovative products and projects across North America. We're based in the suburbs of Montreal, approximately 65 people, growing at a very rapid rate. We've been around since 2010 and have always been 100% vertically integrated company, meaning that there's no outsourcing of product development. Everything is done in-house, the hardware and the software, the platforms that we're going to see also. So everything is done internally, giving us a lot of flexibility to adapt products and solutions to market needs. Maybe next slide, please. So our award-winning thermostat, we're going to talk about the line voltage Zigbee version of our electrical baseboard thermostat, which comes in 3,000 and 4,000 watts as a maximum load. Next slide. So as mentioned previously, energy efficiency has always been part of our DNA because baseboard heating is not a very efficient way to heat the home, but a very common way in areas where electricity prices might be a little more affordable. We've always been thriving to develop the best and optimized thermostat to attain comfort and efficiency. So the Zigbee version of this device was developed because of its strong, reliable, and secure communication protocol that we use and deployed in residential and also in multi-residential towers and homes. It is a product which is also available in Wi-Fi, but for the time being, we're going to concentrate on the Zigbee version of the product. So next slide. It is a two-wire universally compatible thermostat. When we go to the next slide a bit down the road, we're going to see why it's an advantage of having a product which is self-powered. Operating voltage 120 to 240 volts, and as I mentioned before, Zigbee communication protocol. A very good advantage of a product like that is that it detects and measures the connected load in real time. Meaning that it can modulate power output in real time. For example, when we do a demand response with a device like that, instead of cutting the load to an off, which would impact on comfort, we're able to actually give the baseboard a maximum amount of 75%, 80%, 60% of its maximal capacity in order to reduce the load, not affecting comfort. Of course, the Zigbee version has to come with a gateway, compatible gateway, and there is represented our gateway GT130, which actually manages the Zigbee environment. Another thing I'd like to add with the Zigbee advantages for baseboard thermostats like that is, as opposed to an HVAC thermostat, which you usually have only one in the house, baseboard thermostats are seen in every single room of the house. So you can have as many as 10, 11, or 12 devices in a larger home. And sometimes having a parallel network to the Wi-Fi is brings some advantages in stability. Next slide, please. So, as mentioned previously, two-wire universally compatible thermostat means that on the left-hand side, you have more conventional wiring, the way that wiring is done in nowadays in buildings, where two wires come from the panel, two wires come from the baseboard, and the thermostat actually comes and powers itself from the lines in the electrical box. But because of historical reasons, here in the province of Quebec and some other places across North America, the older wiring has been done in such a way that there are only two wires available in the electrical box, meaning that the thermostat needs to power itself by stealing a little bit of energy in every cycle of the heating. So that's why it's a thermostat that does not need constant power coming from the electrical box. Next slide, please. Defining features of the products are advanced energy reporting. As mentioned before, we control and we read the power output and the load connected to the thermostat, so we're able to do advanced reporting. Outdoor temperature is displayed on the screen, which becomes it's a neat advantage when you're stuck here in Quebec and some morning you get up and it's -25, so you just go back to bed. Programmable automations. Well, this gives a lot of flexibility with the Wi-Fi, with the Zigbee connected product based on time. So time of day, this is the normal typical scheduling that we know. Presence with geofencing. Sunrise and sunsets, we're going to use that type of automations more in our light controls, but still we could program the device and the thermostat to be programmed on sunrise and sunset. Device actions, meaning that we can connect devices to interoperate one with another, and everything is done at the local level of the house without the need of the cloud. And outdoor temperature is a new automations that's going to be coming out quite soon, meaning that we can tell the thermostat not to heat if the temperature is over a certain amount of degrees. For example, if we're cooling the house because it's I don't know, 25 degrees or 30 degrees outside, and we forgot to turn the thermostats in the basements off, for example, well, there could be an issue. So we could just say, do not heat when the outdoor temperature is over X amount of degree. All of our devices at Sinope are compatible and certified with the major control platforms. So here we see a couple of them. Obviously, Apple HomeKit for the Wi-Fi devices also. Maybe we can go to the next slide. So as mentioned previously, energy optimization is part of our DNA. So we work with connected homes, connected buildings, and electrical grid energy management. Next slide. And we've launched a program called ecosinope approximately a year ago that optimizes energy costs and consumption. Next slide. ecosinope ties in with the power utilities to help reduce energy demand during peak times. So we can see it as a program which is divided in two phases. One phase is on the power utility side, where we thrive to bring a tailor-made program which is adapted to the power utility needs and reality. And on the other end, well, once we activate the ecosinope feature in the app of the consumer that are in the area served by that power utility, well, the whole program kicks in, and the users, the end users, can enjoy DR events that are going to be set automatically with respect to their own profile. Next slide, please. So this is an example of a program that we did here in the province of Quebec, where the users had to go and register themselves with our local power utility on time of use rate. They had two different programs to choose from. They would tell us which program they actually enrolled to, and then would select their profile. From the cold sensitive, so the one that wants as less impact as possible, which comes with less savings, all the way to the other extreme of the chart, where the Daredevil would have a little bit of preheating but a lot of setback during peak times. Maybe we can go to the next slide, where we're going to see that in a typical situation, the house would be preheated 2 hours before, depending once again on the profile chosen by the user. Then would be during the event, would set back the temperature depending on the profile, and after the event would bring back the temperature to the normal set point wished by the consumer. It's always users always have the possibility to individually adapt the profile of the devices, and can always opt out at any given moment for personal reasons. Next slide, then that's it for me on my end. So if there's any question, I'd be more than happy to answer them. And if not, if you have questions coming up later, everyone can get a hold of me. My contacts are in some of the emails that we've exchanged together.
Thank you very much, Maxime. Wow, both the thermostats, grid interactions of focusing on comfort as well as focusing on energy efficiency. One more thermostat HVAC system that we're going to have on deck here with Daniel Myers in the Flare Puck Pro.
Hey everybody, my name is Dan Myers, one of the co-founders at Flare. We build a suite of devices targeting really reduced comfort and improved energy, specifically for the lighting design challenge. We entered the Puck Pro, and excited to be a winner. The Puck Pro is really, it's at its core, a smart thermostat for the ductless heat pump or the ductless mini split category. We also, I should add, make a suite of products, including a line of smart vents. We're the leading smart vent maker for micro zoning and smarter air distribution within the residential and light commercial spaces. Next slide, please. So just to sort of go over that, looks like the image is a little goofy. So I mentioned the smart vent side of our business. So we do make a micro zoning solution that basically allows you to target different types of different rooms at different times based on occupancy, based on schedules, those types of things. We integrate with actually one of the other winners, ecobee, work with them a lot in market. And then we also provide the leading and the only fully wireless smart thermostat for the ductless mini split category. We also offer a lot of grid integration, as some of the other thermostat providers have sort of talked through. So you can, dispatch DR events to our customers. You can enroll customers. You can kind of manage the whole end-to-end cycle around demand management. And what's particularly exciting is ductless mini splits, while a little bit newer and sort of gaining a footing in the US, are obviously they're the largest category of HVAC in the world. Largely, of course, Asia Pacific and the rest of the world, but gaining a footing and becoming like a real large contender in terms of heating and cooling homes, both in the States and Canada. Next slide, please. So we're not just a hardware company. I think somebody mentioned being vertically integrated. We're also vertically integrated. We build our firmware, our electrical designs, everything soup to nuts. Pretty proud of that. Very strong engineering culture at the company. And we have a platform called HVACOS, which integrates a wide variety of different types of systems. So our smart vents, it integrates with smart thermostats like ecobee, Honeywell, Nest. Also connects with voice assistants like Google Home and Alexa. We also, run our demand response and enterprise API through HVACOS as well. So it's kind of this single meeting point, and it has a lot of different, powerful features, not just user management and the basic things you'd expect in terms of managing HVAC systems, but also we have a lot of pretty sophisticated reporting in there, professional features, professional only features around more sophisticated staging, which we'll talk a little bit more about, but that's really where the Puck Pro shines and is sort of at the core of what it accomplishes. Specifically for electrification, but in other cases it can be energy efficiency too, which is quite cool. And you can see there's a nice shot of our smart vent and the device called the Puck or the Puck Pro. Currently we make 5 sizes of smart vents that covers about 70% of the US market, and we're adding a handful of sizes right now, so we'll be up to about 90% in the next 6 months. So, next slide, please. So the Puck Pro is a really interesting product that is focused on electrification, and it got started in the northeast of the US. So if you look at the northeast of the US, it's actually kind of fascinating, right? About 4 million homes in the US basically use heating oil, and it represents nearly 1% of US emissions. It's pretty much concentrated in the northeast because it's an older housing stock. There's usually not a lot of, it was sort of pre-air conditioning, or it was pre maybe the need for air conditioning, because people really didn't think that in New England you'd be really relying on air conditioning during July and August, although that's really changing pretty quickly. Next slide, please. Because these homes traditionally didn't have ductwork for central air or central heat, they usually rely on boilers or for steam or baseboard hydronic, and almost always are fossil fuel derived heating, right? They're primarily, we mostly target oil, but there's also a lot of natural gas and whatnot. So what we do is we provide this simple path to electrifying homes that use fossil fuel heat in non-ducted and non-forced air scenarios by integrating new ductless heat pumps with legacy heating systems. And what you find quite commonly is that in the Northeast in particular, people are putting in ductless heat pumps for air conditioning, and culturally people were still used to using their legacy oil and gas systems for heating, despite having this really efficient heat pump solution already in their house. And admittedly, it usually was installed in the heat pumps were installed in a subset of the home, but you can actually get pretty far into the heating season despite having only maybe 25 to 50% of the home actually having any sort of heat pump availability. Next slide, please. So there's a few reasons why this solution is actually pretty helpful in a transition from fossil fuel derived heating towards electrification. One is that as the electric heating load in the Northeast grows, the Northeast peaks on the grid are going to get worse and worse. The other is that there's a lot of market inertia to get moving. Namely, if you've lived in the Northeast or sort of visited, you see all these heating trucks driving around. There's an enormous infrastructure for heating oil, and there's also a lot of mandates for the utilities and whatnot to focus on the cost of heating, not strictly the carbon impact of heating. So it's kind of, I think the best way to think about it is it's almost analogous to how the evolution of cars has gone, where we went from fully internal combustion engines to the Prius, to plug-in hybrids, and now fully electric. Homes are sort of going through a similar transition in this region in particular. And as heat pumps improve, and more cold climate heat pumps become available and cost effective, more and more of the heating load will move over there to fully electric heat pumps. But until then, it's really critical to have some grid resiliency built into these transition technologies, and to have kind of a seamless management solution for homeowners who don't have full electric heating yet. Next slide, please. So at its core, what Flare does is, with the Puck Pros and HVAC-OS, is basically provides this automated switching mechanism based on outdoor temperature or grid conditions. So if you have a balance point set for, say, 32 degrees outdoor temperature, anytime below that, we'll switch to the legacy boiler system. But any outdoor weather above that will use the ductless mini splits as your primary heating. And ultimately, this results in pretty dramatic reduction in on-site carbon emissions. We see about 80 to 90% reduction in runtime for boilers. So pretty substantial, really. Next slide, please. We are a smaller company than perhaps some of the others, but certainly mighty and growing quickly. So we work with a number of the largest heat pump makers, a couple of them, both who claim to be the largest in the world, Daikin and Gree, as well as GE, Haier, and a handful of others as OEM partners. We are stocked in pretty much every major distributor across the Northeast, and we work with a number of utility and government groups for rebates and projects and whatnot. We also, as I mentioned, provide a demand response platform that's being used across, actually not too far from Seattle, just down the road in Portland with the Energy Trust of Oregon. So, really, I think getting a real footing in the ductless heat pump market, and a lot of excitement around, just finally connecting ductless heat pumps onto a platform and integrating them into the larger HVAC ecosystem. Next slide, please. So my name is Dan. If you'd like to reach us, you can always reach us, via our website at flare.co, or me directly at dan@flare.co. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And it was great seeing the three winning thermostat systems. They have different approaches, as well as a couple of similar features, grid interaction. So very solid winning thermostat system products. We're going to be shifting gears a little bit to winning fan products for the Lighting Homes for Tomorrow competition. We have not Christopher Pika, apologies, but instead Alex Ostrovsky that's going to be speaking on the modern form fans that won in the competition. Alex, I see.
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm ready to go. So, Modern Form Smart Fans. We are a company under the WAC Lighting umbrella. We also make high-end luxury decorative lighting fixtures under the Luminaire emblem. We launched our fans 3 years ago, and our goal with our fan line was to be a one-stop shop and an overall solution in the fan category. The fan category has many established players that have been manufacturing fans for decades. So for us to enter this arena, we wanted to have a complete offering and solution. We have over 30 different designs. All of our fans are smart. All of our fans are wet rated, meaning they could be installed indoors or out. They all have a DC motor, which is the most advanced motor available in the ceiling fan category. Most of our fans are Energy Star rated. And we last year introduced a Bluetooth remote control and wall control, which allows the user for the first time in ceiling fans to be able to group multiple fans on one circuit and control all of their fans at one time. So for installations on lanais or patios or porches, that has been an issue that has plagued the fan category for decades. So please, next slide. This is a snapshot of our control technology. All of our fans come included with either a Bluetooth wall or remote control, and all of our fans are integrated smart. They come smart. There's no additional accessory or add-on or option. The app is free. It has some rich features. You can have brightness control from 1 to 100%. You can set up a timer. We have a breeze mode function, which pulsates the RPM speed of the fan to replicate a wind, breeze, or gust. You're also able to set your fan to winter or summer mode for the different seasonality and pulling up the airflow. And a couple other features is we have a grouping function, which is great for a commercial or even a residential application where a user wants to control all of their fans at the same time. So not only do our remote controls create that ability, but also our app platform allows an unlimited amount of fans to be added on the app. And that's being done across the country now in hotels and restaurants where there's always been an issue with controlling ceiling fans. Either you have to go up and pull the chain to be able to change the speed or the light, or you set the fan to what is commonly used in the industry, which is RF technology. Unfortunately, that creates cross-signal confusion and one room controlling the next room's fans and so on and so forth. And last but not least, we have an adaptive learning function, which is excellent for the consumer. The fan at their option will learn their behavior and send them prompts based on what the fan learns about them. This is an excellent function because it also pairs extremely well with ecobee and other smart home devices. Next slide, please. These are just a few of our integration partners. Like I said, ecobee, which presented earlier, Alexa, Google, SmartThings, Josh AI, and Control4. We continue to add on to this list and make these new integration partners available through our firmware updates. Next slide, please. These are the two fans that we entered for this competition for the very first time, seeing as how we're a relatively new fan company, and we're excited to have won. Renegade. So this is an industrial modern look. It's available in 2 sizes and a variety of finish options. What makes this fan truly stand out is this absolutely gorgeous luminaire, which is the light kit that we produce at our own factory through the Modern Forms Luminaire brand. So the other portion that makes our fan line unique, I'd say, in the fan category is like some of the other presenters said today, we are vertically integrated as well. We manufacture many of these components ourselves, including the receivers, the controls, the LEDs, the light kits, and we have a full IoT team based in Austin, Texas, that manages our entire platform in-house. Next slide, please. And this is our other winning design. This is a flush mount fan, tip top. What makes this design stand out is just the scale and the overall proportionality. It's just a very balanced look. It's also extremely low profile. So this allows us to sell well in some of the more traditional markets in New England, the East Coast, Chicago, where many of those folks have lower ceilings. So we felt that with Renegade and Tip Top and entering them into this competition, that truly showed the versatility in the design offerings that we bring to the table. Next slide, please. I think that may be it. So that's, do we have another slide?
No, this is the last one.
Anyway, so that just about wraps it up for us. And again, just to highlight what we offer, every fan is wet rated, smart DC motor. Most of our fans are Energy Star. And this is throughout a catalog of over 30 designs. I welcome you to contact me if you have any further questions, or also visit us at our recently published and revamped website at modernforms.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. Exciting smart fan technology for the winners. Shifting product gears again. Now we're going to be talking about Hunter Douglas's smart duet honeycomb shades, and I'll be teeing up Stacy Lambright.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stacy Lambright. I am the Energy Efficiency Manager with Hunter Douglas, and I am really thrilled to be here today. Before I go into our award-winning product, I want to make sure that everyone on this call is familiar with a fairly new organization called the Attachments Energy Rating Council, or AERC. So AERC's mission is to rate, label, and certify the energy performance of window attachments. And that will provide a credible and relevant and comparable information to consumers when they're looking at window attachments. I also want to define window attachments because that's not often a term that we use. And AERC uses it for shades, blinds, interior and exterior, as well as storm windows and secondary windows. So that's what window attachments are. And we're made up of key stakeholders of manufacturers. We work with utilities across the country. We have energy organizations as members. We also have been funded in the past by the Department of Energy and fully supported by the Department of Energy, as they really want to elevate window attachments as an energy saving product in the marketplace. We also work with several, all of the national energy labs. Next slide, please. Okay, and we really want to thank CEE because this year they did add a new category for window attachments. And so AERC became a sponsor this year, and we really felt that it shows a way of showing how window attachments can really integrate with lighting and the HVAC controls that we've heard about today, and help improve the energy savings. Also, by incorporating automation into window coverings, it elevates and optimizes energy savings, and I'll talk more about that. Also, just being here today and getting in front of this audience will help educate you on the benefits of window attachments. Next slide, please. Okay, now for the debut winner. As I mentioned, this is the first time that CEE has incorporated window attachments into this prestigious award, so thank you very much. And Hunter Douglas was awarded with our Duet Architella honeycomb shade. If you're not familiar with our product, you can see in the corner here, it is a honeycomb within a honeycomb product. So it has distinct air pockets that manage both solar heat gain and heat losses through the window. We have a leading selection of fabrics, shapes, and hardware. And this is important because as we're seeing bigger windows, different shaped windows coming into the market, we have an energy saving solution for those windows. We also, our products provide that natural daylighting. And then in terms of the non-energy benefits, we have the privacy and the security. Next one, please. Okay, as for our automation platform, we use our PowerView automation. And so we have a connected hub that you see in the right-hand corner here. That is our hub, and it allows consumers to connect to their preferred home platforms, many of them which we've heard in all the presentations here today. And they can operate the app really for energy savings at any time and anywhere. So there's a screenshot of our app on the left-hand side. We are working with AERC on an AERC automation rating for 2022. But right now we do have an AERC automation schedule. So consumers can schedule in that schedule for optimized energy savings. Okay, next slide. I realize can you all see my camera? No. Oh, there I am.
Yep, there we go. There you go. Yep.
Hi, everyone. I realized I wasn't on. Anyway, so in regards to our product and the energy performance, you can go to the AERC website, and I'll share that with you at the end. But the ratings are based on a cool climate and a warm climate. And so our winning product was our Calypso fabric, and you can see here what those ratings are. And then additionally, AERC provides the U factor and the solar heat gain coefficient, so those metrics that maybe some of the energy geeks like we are looking for. And so this is the range of our Duet Architella fabric and our ratings there. Additionally, we have worked with Pacific Northwest National Lab and Oak Ridge National Lab to do studies on cellular shades. Here, I put the study, one of the studies from PNNL, which is in the backyard of many of you. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, they're in Richland, Washington, and they utilize their lab homes, so side-by-side lab homes, and they wanted to see the benefits of adding automation to window attachments. And so the improved energy savings are that 14% in heating and 15% in cooling. Next slide, please. How can we make this prestigious award a benefit? So what we'd like to do, working with AERC, is to outreach to utility companies to get rebates in place for window attachments. And Xcel Energy Colorado was the first utility in the country to implement a cellular shade rebate program. They launched that last year, right when COVID was beginning. So our metrics are a little off, but what we've seen is this huge increase in sales as people are working at home and spending more times in their homes. They're looking at and sitting next to their windows and really wanting that comfort and the energy savings. So we'd love to work with utility companies to create more rebate offers. We also are working with Baltimore Gas and Electric. They've launched the first ever Smart Shade pilot program with 20 homes in the Baltimore area. That really is kicking off next month. So we're excited next year at this time, we can share that information with you. And then just again, these kind of platforms of educating all of you and consumers of the ARC and the ability to use the ratings. Next slide, please. So that was it, pretty quick, but we thank you for being here. I provided information and links to everything I discussed in my presentation, so please check those out and follow up with me. Email me and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stacy. That was pretty solid on that connected shade, as well as letting us know about the AERC. Thank you very much. And we have last but not least product on integrated water heater. So I'm going to be teaming up Matt Carlson. Take it away.
Thanks, Armando, and thank you to Seattle City Light and the Lighting Design Lab and the competition sponsors for this opportunity, and welcome you all and thank you all for hanging in there. As Armando is alluding, right, this is a bit of a different end-use product category, but one that's super important and frankly has been overlooked a bit when it comes to the smart home, the smart grid, and energy efficient opportunity. Next slide, please. And this is my the preaching to the choir slide, if you will, in that most folks don't know, except probably energy geeks or maybe people, a lot of the folks out that are on this call, that know that the water heater is actually the second largest user of energy in the home. They are ubiquitous, right? So 95% of U.S. homes have standard either gas or electric resistant storage water heaters. And they use a ton of energy, $35 billion a year, almost 3% of total U.S. energy production and usage goes towards heating our water, which is obviously results in a lot of carbon footprint, well, CO2 generation, but also a lot of energy that's wasted just given the nature of electric storage water heaters. But they also represent enormous grid integration opportunity, and that has been taken advantage of for years here in certain places around the country. Florida, Minnesota in particular, have used water heaters as a grid enabling technology, but frankly have been using antiquated one-way pager-based systems here. And so we at Aquanta, if you fast forward to the next one, developed what we felt was a product that was doing for the water heater, which is what all of our peers in the HVAC and the smart thermostat ecosystem have done, which is bring this three-way value proposition of standalone customer value, of energy efficiency controls and opportunities through smart controls, and then grid integration for the water heater. And so the product that we developed and we were awarded here in the competition was the Aquanta Smart Water Heater Controller. If you go to the next slide, please. It's a retrofit controller that goes on a storage water heater. It was built from the ground up to be smart home and smart grid enabled. We are integrated with several of the leading smart home platforms, including the Amazon Alexa ecosystem and the IFT ecosystem. So enabling integration into other smart home technologies for interoperation. As I'd mentioned, Aquanta also operates like a learning thermostat, again, like our peers in the smart thermostat ecosystem, in that it is learning the use patterns of the home and then creating a control schedule to help avoid heating when it's not needed and to have those heat cycles match the heating use of the homeowner. Importantly, Aquanta is really designed as a super easy installation. It goes, we have two versions, one for gas water heaters and one for electric. The electric version is powered by the inline with the water heater, and the gas version actually plugs into a wall outlet. So very DIY friendly, installs in 15 minutes or less. It is available, and the product is available on Amazon and our website, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. Lastly, Aquanta, as I mentioned, does have both electric and gas versions. The electric version is essentially compatible with all electric resistive storage water heaters. It is not compatible with heat pump water heaters right now. And on the gas side, it's compatible with something like half to 2/3 of the North American installed base, in that Aquanta needs to interface with an electronic ignition control system. So it's got the old-timey control knob for the gas water heater. It's not compatible. Next slide, please. So this is just a picture of what our electric version looks like. So again, it's installed in line with the water heater. Importantly, there are a number of sensors that come with the kit that are helping provide the data that feeds the Aquanta algorithm, but also some really user-friendly data points and features, including how much hot water is in the tank, so as a percentage of the tank volume. Also, there's a leak detector that can come with the kit that is providing leak alerting, which is the main failure mode for storage water heaters. Next slide, please. Aquanta, as I mentioned, is available through end customers, but truly our main customers are electric utilities. And so this is a snapshot and a partial list of the utilities that we're working with around the country and around North America. And it really ranges from IOUs to munis to co-ops. And Aquanta is used for a variety of program types, primarily as a grid management asset, so for demand response programs, helping manage peak load, but also in energy efficiency programs. So our programs with PG&E and SoCalGas are both energy efficiency focused. So using, again, the Aquanta as a way to reduce primary energy consumption in the water heaters. Next slide, please. And as I mentioned, Aquanta is available via web retail channels. And so yes, if you are an interested smart home consumer, you can go ahead and buy one, and lots of people have done so. And the reviews are kind of proof in the pudding, and I think, you know, validating why we were an award winner here. But importantly, from a utility program standpoint, we believe this is serves two purposes. One is giving utilities comfort that, hey, this is a product and a feature that they can be able to stand behind. But importantly, that it gives customers a reason to say yes. Water heater control is not as sexy as a cool, remotely enabled and intelligent fan or smart thermostat, but being able to remotely manage your water heater, being able to cut your carbon footprint from water heating, being able to get alerted if there is a maintenance problem in your water heater. Those are all features that users attach to and give them reasons to say yes to utility-sponsored programs. Last slide. So that wraps it up for me, I believe. Feel free to please reach out if you all have any questions. My email is here on the slide, and we appreciate your participation. Again, thank you to the sponsors for hosting this session.
Thank you very much, Matt. That was very illuminating on a integrated water heater, very solid way of connecting this trade in your connected home to smart applications, to utilities. Again, loving the emerging technology here. And for product winners, we missed a couple of product winners, but now we're going to hear a little bit more about this year's integrated home competition, again with CEE and Kim. Take it away, Kim.
Hey there, Armando. This is Alice. Can you hear me okay?
Sorry about that, Alice. Yes, thank you.
Wonderful.
Alice with CEE, everybody. Yep.
I think I'm on the wrong video. Great. I'm just going to turn off my video because it's the wrong one. Great. A couple of slides just to quickly mention what's going on this year. We actually just launched the 2021 Integrated Home Competition, which you're right, is not the Lighting and Homes for Tomorrow competition, but they look very, very similar, don't they? So if you go to the next slide, I want to kind of speak to how this evolution that Kim started off the beginning of this webinar talking about is continuing to evolve. Lighting and Homes for Tomorrow last year was a really exciting way for us to take this market competition and make it not just about lighting, but really about connected lighting and everything that's in the home. And we're moving that into the next level in 2021 and beyond, and looking not just at the products we covered today, but expanding into a little bit more and really focusing on kind of that whole integrated home strategy. So all the products that won in 2020 were great examples of what we think is part of an integrated home. And we want to really broaden that to, a fuller suite of a really truly, integrated home that might also include things that weren't eligible in 2020, which I'll go into in a little bit. So yeah, the real point is to take this competition model and make it a little bit bigger and have it be what we're calling an integrated home competition. We're going to do a little bit more of an official rebranding, but you can expect to see something along those lines coming later this year. Next slide. This is a look at what I mean by expansion. So I think we covered a pretty fantastic range of winners in the 2020 competition, from fans to thermostats. Those are all included in 2021, but some of the areas that we want to also elicit entries are from a broader range of HVAC equipment, as well as combis and water heating and pool pumps. You'll notice those four are much more about the larger loads in the home, and also not just focusing on electric, but natural gas as well. So those four we're explicitly calling out. And then just like within 2020, really looking to have this open category be a catch-all where some of the most interesting and innovative ones that don't fall into a particular bucket can enter. So we welcome anything. The open category, we're expecting things like home energy management systems, possibly even some EV chargers. Micro CHP is another one we'd love to see. So really, hopefully anything and everything under the sun or within the home is going to be eligible. And we'll revisit these categories each year to see if there's others we want to expand into. All right, next slide. Yeah, and this is my second to last one, but just looking at how we're making this into really a instituted annual event, so manufacturers know when to expect this. This year is a little later than normal because we had to get board authorization to really begin the project, but we'll be planning in the springtime to have the launch and then a couple months for folks to enter. This year it'll be April 19th, so last week we went live. In future years, it'll hopefully be a little bit sooner, closer to the March timeline. At that point, and right now, any and all manufacturers are welcome and encouraged to enter. We've got tons of information on our website about exactly how to do that. So between now and June, really seeking all submissions and entrants. Then over the next couple months during the summer, we do a really robust review process, just like in 2020, where we review everything that comes in, make sure we have all the information, make sure everything is connected and eligible, and then do a two-phased judging where our advisory committee looks through and picks the finalists, and then the finalists go through a very robust in-person judging event where we've got a panel of experts that are there for 3 full days, just digging into the weeds of each product that's a finalist and really spending a good half hour playing around with the app, like smelling and looking at it and touching everything. And then we announce the winners in the fall, and we'll be doing just like this, a good 6 months more of promotion. I've sort of listed on the side some of the ways that we promote these products, but it really is a multifaceted effort where CEE promotes them, our trade partners promote them, many of our utilities will pilot or promote them or offer incentives. So it's a very multifaceted way in which the promotion occurs for a good year after the winners are announced. My next and I think last slide is a look at the 2021 to 2023 sponsors. We've got almost all the same ones from 2020, and you'll see a whole lot more. We're really excited about, well, all of these folks, but in particular, I want to highlight, we've got a lot of new trades on board and really thrilled to have those be able to serve as a wonderful communication channel with those respective groups. So the American Lighting Association is, very tied into the lighting community. AHRI is a new organizer. They are very tied into the manufacturers of water heaters and HVAC. So we're really thrilled to have all of those groups involved and kind of on the ground with those respective entities. And then I also will note there's tons of gas entities and utilities involved, which again, we're also really excited about. Even though there's a lot of buzz around electrification, we're really focused on just decarbonization, which we think involves many and all solutions, which include gas. So yeah, just wanted to mention our sponsors for this year and a huge shout out to them. I think that's my last slide, but great, it is. Please do reach out to Kim or me with any questions about the competition, or you can visit our new snazzy website, integratedhome.net, where you'll find all the additional information about 2021 and beyond. And thank you so much for organizing this. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Alice. And yeah, exciting upcoming competition. Again, very aligned with what Lighting Design Lab believes will help catalyze the adoption of these emerging connected technologies in the home. And just very excited for this competition this year. Just wanted, as we coming to a close here, thank you for hanging on with us. Thank you for listening to all the manufacturers and then CEE as they described both of their competitions. Just a quick few words as we close down here. Upcoming programming from Lighting Design Lab, we have a network lighting controls for school K-12 spaces class on May 4th. Then we're going to be talking a little bit about a funding opportunity that Seattle City Light received, where in the Miller Community Center, City Light is implementing a microgrid where we're going to be learning a lot of how battery storage and the demand response and energy resilience is going to work. So please join us May 27th for that. Again, the recording and handout is going to be posted on our website for this presentation. You have my contact information on the top if you have any questions for me. And always you can email lightingdesignlab@seattle.gov with any comments. And that is going to be it for us. There were no questions, so all the manufacturers presented very well. But again, just thank you for joining us. Thank you for making this possible. And we'll be seeing you soon in another presentation. Thank you all.